Hello and good evening. A little muted there, sorry. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Hemingway Jones Fountain Pen Show live this wonderful Thanksgiving week. So happy to see so many of you here. I wasn't sure if anyone would show up. Everyone's getting ready for the holidays. Pretty exciting time. It's also a time when YouTube just basically nosedives with engagement because everyone's busy buying Christmas presents, buying groceries. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk about a lot of things. The title of this video is I Journal, Therefore I Am. Scribo, Ergo Sum. That would be a nice motto, wouldn't it? So thanks for all the likes, guys. I see the thumbs flying up. So thanks for watching, those of you that watch every week. It's nice to have you here. This, of course, is an unaffiliated fountain pen show that I'm not here to sell you anything. I think that's the advantage of an independent channel like mine. I'm here to share experiences. I'm here to inspire you. And one thing I never will do is bore you. So I think you'll find a lot of interesting things in the catalog. Oh, lovely. Wow. Terry Edginton, one of the amazing members of this channel with a $50 super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's very, very kind of you, Terry. Terry does so much for this channel. She's so generous with her time, with her advice, and with her $50. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. It helps keep the lights on, Terry. That pays for like a month of the streaming software. So thank you very much. Very, very kind. Thank you. And thank you all for the likes and the super chats. Very much appreciated. Thank you. So we're going to have an interesting show tonight. I have no notes. I usually have notes. I have no notes. I set them aside. I thought we would just chat in the time we have. I'd like to just talk a little bit more about journaling. I want to tell you guys where I am. I want to tell you about the whole health crisis situation I've been going through and where that is. And I promise to make that interesting. I won't drone on and on about my maladies like some decrepit old man, I promise you. And just kind of give you an idea about different directions the channel's going in and some of the really fun stuff we have in store. But first, I need to recognize another superstar with a very difficult name. I'll do my best. Papa Mau Mau. Super chat $10. Thank you so much. Very, very kind. I really appreciate it. That is a huge help to the channel, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. So tonight's video, I kind of see it as a companion piece to when I spoke about not being able to journal. Because I went through this dry spell where I couldn't even formulate a thought. I would look at the blank page and I would just think, what am I going to write here? Another dreary day in Massachusetts. It sort of devolved into this reptile brain interpretation of the world, and I just couldn't motivate myself to do anything creative. Even with writing some of my scripts, I had a really tough time with for my videos. I started to do more of what I consider kind of the more boring style of videos, the hands, you know, when you get the hands. At least with me, you get my face in hands, and hopefully we give you some pretty B-roll, but you know, you get those hands. I have a hard time with channels you just see hands. I don't know. It's just not my favorite type of videos to watch. But so I went through this really tough spot, and the reason was I was wholly distracted with my imagination because I've been dealing with you guys know I have trouble writing, and it's the irony of life that often it's the things that you love most that circumstance and time takes away from you, right? Or at least makes it challenging. So one of the things I have problems with is writing because my arm gets numb from right about here all the way down to my hand and my thumb. And, numbness can be scary, and it's one of those things where doctors can give you some of the doomsday scenarios first. There's all those neurological nervous disorders that everyone worries about. And that was kind of primary in my thoughts and my imagination. I have a very vivid imagination. I would say the one thing I'm really kind of glad about is that my thought isn't like, oh, poor me, or, oh, my time is nigh, that kind of thing. My focus is on my daughter and my wife and getting them where they need to be. And I feel like I need to be here for like the next 20 years or so, if possible, to kind of realize all my goals for them. So having that distraction of this thing, I didn't know what it is, and it was looming, and it was potentially scary because some of the things they were talking about, one of them was, multiple sclerosis, which is what killed my dad at 26, which kind of kicked off everything that turned me into me, that one event, I would say. If there's a cause of me, it's my father dying when I was 18 months old. That's the cause. I'm the effect. And one of the scariest things for me is that I didn't want to be a cause for my young daughter and for it to have an effect. I just feel like I need to be here until she's older. Okay? So this is the background. Can't write thinking of this. So then I go to the doctor. You start to do tests. First test, sonogram. Sonogram reveals tumors on my neural sheath, which is scary sounding, but at least like you know what it is, and I'm the type of person, well, great, if that's what it is, go in there, cut it out, and let's get on with life. But I guess you have this protective sheath around your nerves. If there's a tumor on it, it can press on the nerve, ergo pain, all that kind of stuff, right? But then, of course, you start to wonder, well, what's causing all these tumors? Could I have some kind of like systematic problem, what have you? Would be very frightening as well. So the imagination works even more after the sonogram. So I'm wholly distracted. I'm barely holding it together. I set down journaling, I think for a week or two. And then I would just write the most basic stuff like, September 29th. Not feeling so positive today, whatever, but this happened that is promising. So almost 1 or 2 lines per day when I was writing pages or paragraphs. So kind of a challenge there, kind of keeping focused and these medical things. So I go get an MRI. The MRI was suitably horrible, as you imagine. 3 hours in a tube, the thing wasn't working. They put me back in, head first for my neck, and then, the other way for my arm, and all kinds of weird things. Felt like the machine was talking to me at one point. Just wholly unpleasant. But getting through those times, if you kind of picture your family, I think it helps you through these tough times. I think. Oh, thanks for all the likes, guys. So get out of there, and I might have told you this story before, lost my wedding band because I was so discombobulated. Was 3 quarters of the way home when I realized it was gone, drove back to the place with the imaging and said, hey, I lost my wedding band. Does anybody have it? And of course they did not. So I lost my wedding band, and then I have since replaced it. Which is wonderful. It was our 10th anniversary, so we got new bands together. Lovely, Helen and I. My wife's so cool. When I lost my band, she said, why don't you just upgrade? So she's just so lovely. So great. Okay, so MRI comes out, and then suddenly they say, there's nothing there. There's nothing on your neural sheath, so you don't have tumors. The sonogram, it's just, faulty, just whatever. Well, that's nice, but then what is it? Okay, so long story short is that I have discs in my back and neck that are degenerative. And I knew that already, but I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together. Then after talking to the neurosurgeon and all this, it makes a lot of sense because for like a year, my foot was numb and I could have like sliced it with a knife. I wouldn't have felt it. It's since got better, which is interesting. But the arm thing and everything else is connected to that. So it's degenerative discs. So now I have a menu of things that I could do, up to surgery, to cortisone, to traction, all kinds of interesting things. So we'll work with that over time. But why am I telling you all this? Because one is that I already spoke about it. And if I don't give you resolution, you're going to think that I'm not going to be here. But it looks like I'm going to be here. So what's wrong with me is nothing that is cataclysmic at this point. It's more annoying and painful, but not existential in its threat. So at some point, it'll get taken care of. But it had a profound kind of effect on me also with the journaling, like, and something new. I feel strangely renewed. I guess when you start to imagine all these terrible things and the doctors are kind of suggesting that they're a possibility and you're kind of walking on the edge of the abyss and you're looking in and you make peace with it. Except, as I said, in regards to being here for my family. But at least personally, I feel almost like I've done what I set out to do in a way that I wanted always to be better. I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to be consistent. I wanted to be expressive. I still have goals I want to do. I want to publish a book. I have some goals in my banking career that I want to accomplish. I'm close to those. Lots of things like that. But on a personality-wise, on a somewhat of an unbiased, trying to be as unbiased about myself as I can, I've made progress from where I didn't feel like I was being the best person I could be to where I am now. Well, I feel like I'm fairly consistent. I hope I'm a good partner for my wife, a good dad for my kid, you know? But I would not have been any of those things had it not been for journaling. Journaling is the only thing that gave me the self-awareness to shift directions. And my wife gave me the motivation. I wanted to be here, be a really good partner for her. But it's journaling and being fiercely honest with myself and kind of self-critiquing without being obsessive and without being sort of masochistic. You're not trying to torture yourself or punish yourself. You're trying to be honest and appraise yourself and see where your shortcomings are. And if it's something like a temper, which I have had in the past, that is like wholly gone now, you have to find ways to disarm it. Unless I'm in a car, then forget it. I'm back in Philadelphia. I'm like 20 years old again when I'm in the car. I'm like, I don't road rage. I just road rage to myself. Like, I'm like, look at this guy. He just cut me off. You know, that kind of stuff. But I kind of enjoy that. It's sort of like participation in driving. Plus, I'm from Massachusetts. You guys know, we're Massachusetts drivers. There's a name for Mass drivers. I cannot say on my PG show. So you guys know, though. I know you do because you've driven through New England. So all of that was me being honest with myself, with looking at my trends and seeing like the progression of things I would do that turned out badly. And I would do them over and over again. And I'd wonder why things weren't working out or why I couldn't get certain aspects of my life focused. Some of the advice that I give people is if you want to change your life, you change your choices. You are the sum total of your choices. So start making better choices. You can start changing your life right now just by choosing to be healthy, choosing to be kind, choosing to be courageous, choosing to be a good friend, a good father, a good listener. Work on your listening skills. That opens up so many doors. There's just so much, and journaling is at the heart of that. It's through there that I see the trends, I see my causes and effects, I see the things I've done. I've looked back and examined my life and saw some of the damage I did with relationships and things. I think the biggest red flag, if you're speaking to someone, is someone who has no self-awareness. It'll say something like, every woman they've ever dated is crazy. If somebody says that, you know who the problem is. If you think the problem is everyone else, the problem is definitely you. But you need to learn that on your own if you want to progress as a person, I think. I think that's really valuable. And I think anyone can change at any time. And I think you start to become very insightful. It's almost like having a window into wisdom. Because have you ever read a book? And I don't recommend writing in the margins, but John Adams, for instance, the second president of the United States, was he second or third? Oh boy, it was Washington Jefferson Adams. Yeah. So used to write, or was it Adams Jefferson? Oh, I forget. Anyway, that's not, the order's not the point. The point is that he used to write in the margins of his books, and he would have a conversation with his books, and he would get so much out of his books and learn so much from them because he's having this interconnected dialogue with it. It makes it much more of a rich experience. But Tom says second. Thank you, Tom. Second president of the United States. I thought so. I should have gone with my gut. So journaling allows you to have a conversation with your life. With your life. Think about that. You can describe any event in your life and have a conversation about it. What did I do well? You're one of the participants. You can interview yourself, see how you did, do better next time. That's powerful, and that gives you insight into your own character. So I just think it's so amazing, so powerful. Arthur says, I'm happy and relieved that the health scare ended up being something not too scary. Take care, HJ. Thank you, Arthur, my dear friend. I appreciate it. Me too, but I'll say that I'm kind of thankful for the experience, if that makes sense. Scribo, ergo sum. It's if I didn't think that the end was nigh, I'm not sure I'd have this feeling of renaissance that I have right now. And also, I think I was drifting a little bit away from my center. I think I was letting myself go a little bit. I got a little, I'm not too obsessive about my dimensions, but I wasn't able to fit into my pants. And I had bought that, remember the corduroy suit in the Raven video, the brown corduroy, which by the way is 3 pieces. Wait until I wear the vest with it soon. But the waistcoat, if you will. But I couldn't get those pants on. I had to suck in so deeply to get those pants on. And I just didn't want to have to buy all new pants. So I lost weight, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. I got definitely away from myself. I wasn't reading as much. I think my creativity on YouTube was waning, and I feel like right now I don't think I've ever had so many ideas as I do now. I have so many scripts I've written and not filmed. I think I'm going to be concentrating a lot more on journaling and the experiences of of fountain pens rather than the sexy, you must buy this fountain pen part of this hobby. Although I'm sure I'll do some of that too. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I do get excited by pens as much as the next person. And I am eminently curious. Dareen Yaim, you have my empathy for your nerve issues. Thanks, my friend, for saying that. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Nerves are funny because it's like my arm's just numb. It's annoying, you know. But we'll see. We'll get it fixed soon. But as I was saying, I want to share tips on journaling. I want to do very deep dives on journaling and being creative and becoming better people together, all of us. And I want to do more on inks and kind of enjoying the things we already have. It's fine to buy new stuff. It's fine to buy new pens, but I just feel like if the channel is always about hawking pens and showing the latest and greatest thing, it's a bit of a soulless enterprise. It's at that point, you just sort of become a shill for whatever brand sponsors you, or you just buy it. I mean, I usually buy my pens. Sometimes I get them for free, but I often buy them. Like the Magna Carta Mag 600, I bought that. But if you're always buying the latest and greatest pen, then the channel gets really expensive. That's why I don't review watches. I mean, pens are bad enough. Imagine watches where you need to talk about a new 8,000 to 40,000 watch each week. How do you pull that off without going broke eventually? I might do a watch review sometime though. It is fun. But if I ever do that stuff, it's going to be as extras. It's going to be kind of counter programming. I do my one pen related video a week. I do the live show. And then I throw in one of those occasionally. That's what I would do. But, I just think that it's wonderful to enjoy your life. It's wonderful to really take the journaling and fountain pen hobby to the next level. And the next level is not owning a Mont Blanc. It's not owning a Visconti. It's not owning a Pilot. It's whatever you have, going deep in a beautiful setting, getting very in touch with yourself, and being honest and expressing yourself on the page. That's going deep. Let me see, Ali J. I like deep dives in the things we already have. Yeah, so do I. So do I. And I do love pens. I do. I get excited. I got a new pen today. A member sent me. Puppet Access. I didn't even open it yet. It looks... I don't know what it looks like because I haven't opened it, but it's a... How do you say it? Hangdian, right? Hangdian. Sorry. I can't see. 5170. I'm super excited. I want to open it, but I might record me opening it, so I haven't decided. It's one thing that's weird when you do these kind of videos and things. Nothing really happens unless you record it. So very cool stuff. The other thing is that Tom Studio sent a pen I'm really excited about. Now, Tom Studio is really interesting. I'm really kind of excited to dip into this, no pun intended, because it's so different. And I want to do more different things. I think this might be the future of writing, what's in here. The future of writing. I think it's that revolutionary. I'm excited. I'm going to dip into that at some point. So we have enough stuff to do, but I really want to enjoy time. Quebec was like that. My family and I got time to journal. I was able to go to the cafe each morning. My daughter was just happy eating her chocolate brioche. I got coffee. My wife had juice. and I was able to journal, and it was absolutely amazing to have 10-15 minutes to journal with my family there in this beautiful setting in a French-speaking city in a beautiful, civilized, wonderful country. Quebec City is one of the cleanest places I've seen in my life. Absolutely brilliant. Miss Marilyn Darling, Tom's studio is amazing. Isn't it really amazing? I'm already thinking when I do that video, it's going to be called The Future of Writing is Tom's Studio, because I really think so. That is revolutionary. And I'm building buzz, I guess. I didn't mean to, but it's probably my next project. I just edited a video called, it's called, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's about journaling to help with seasonal affective disorder, which I think a lot of us wade through, a lot of us suffer. And I think as the days get shorter, you feel it deeply. And going to Quebec, where the days were shorter because it's further north and it was colder, maybe for that reason, and because it's on the banks of the St. Lawrence River, it gave me a prelude of what's to come here in Massachusetts. So pretty amazing stuff. And I think I learned a lot in Quebec, spending that time with my family and just slowing down. I think I mentioned to you all that we have a membership at the Museum of Fine Arts here in Boston, and we're doing the same thing. We're going there, we're luxuriating in the museum. Since we have a membership, we know we can go back. We don't have to try to fit everything in one day. If the weather's bad one weekend, we're looking for something to do, we just go to the museum and we maybe catch a wing that we don't normally explore and just walk around and make discoveries and journal. Probably film. You'll probably see a lot of B-roll at the Museum of Fine Arts. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Oh man, look at this. The mighty Lad Gardner with a $25 super chat. Thanks for you and this crew. Lad is so important to this community of ours. He's one of the fulcrums of this community. He and I, we have intense email conversations. One day, maybe at his house, but one day we're going to sit down and have a really nice in-person conversation, Laddie and I. Just such a lovely guy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Also, he's got fantastic handwriting, which I'm very appreciative of. I've been writing letters lately with my Mag 600 and enjoying that, because you can get very fine and then you can really lean into it and get a nice fat line. And I've been doing that, connecting words in a sentence style of writing. So if you get a letter from me recently, it might look different than some of my other ones, handwriting wise. I think sometimes I change it up and suddenly it looks like it was written by someone else. But I'm still enjoying the Mag 600. I actually have it right here. So it's still handy. I'm still putting oxblood in it. I just really am feeling oxblood. I do love this fountain pen. I love what they did. I'm kind of proud of them. I think they're going to do even more refinements though. I think we might see a smaller flex nib from them one day. I'm curious about the 1000 with the giant nib, how that must write. That sounds a lot of fun too. Laddie says, hi, love to all you guys. So all you guys, Laddie sends his love if you haven't seen it. So the chat is very, very busy. I love seeing a vibrant chat. I love the likes. I appreciate the super chats. I love this community. There's a lot of energy here. I put up a Thanksgiving video for Thursday. I wanted to post something. It's kind of me thanking everyone and different people and different things that happened during the year. So kind of a nice video for your turkey time. So catch it this Thursday if you have a few minutes. And of course, it'll stay up. You can watch it over the weekend. Avec Poise says, I have many family members in Quebec. I wish Paris were as clean as it is in Montreal. Yeah, it's amazing. I was so impressed with Quebec and how clean it was, to the point that when you travel with a 6-year-old, you spend a lot of time saying, where is the bathroom? And you need to know where the bathrooms are. And there are public restrooms over in Petit Champlain that I would have, I guess I don't want to say that. I'm trying to think of a polite way to put it when you're talking about a bathroom. Let's say normally when one has a seat in a bathroom, it is prudent for one to put a barrier there. These were so clean, so tidy, so warm, and they were free public bathrooms that I felt like I would not have needed a barrier. I still used a barrier, but I felt like I didn't need it. So that's how I was impressed about Quebec City. I think you guys are going to enjoy that video on seasonal affective disorder because it was shot in Quebec City. I almost didn't shoot. I almost wanted this one just for us. But we were there for a while and we had a lot of time. And shooting wasn't the main focus. It's not like you go to a spot and you have a day and you spend it shooting. This was a couple times a day, but large parts of the day were just us. So it was really nice. It was just a perfect balance of everything. And I'll tell you guys, Christmas is squared away. I've bought all my Christmas presents. Now there's this thing that happens. I bought a bunch of stuff for Helen. Helen buys a bunch of stuff for Imogen. I have to intercept everything that comes in before Helen gets to it. So that's a little game we play. And I usually keep Helen's gifts at my office. So I guess I probably should have had them shipped to my office, but I did not do that. But I do have to, I have to get them before she does. Because sometimes they ship them in a box that says whatever. That's very impolite for Christmas presents. And I'd also have to say that, by the way, Richard Neuwunner says, when you get older, you will want to know where the public restroom is. It's not a bad idea to know in general where the public restrooms are. I also have a tip that I use when I travel in Europe. When I travel, actually pretty much when I travel anywhere, but especially in Europe, I usually dress up. Quebec City, I didn't. I was dressed for weather. But I'm usually in a blazer, often a tie when I travel. And I find it opens doors. And the most important door I'm ever trying to open is the restroom. So I look for a hotel. Those are usually the easiest. And that's the best public restroom in any city. But when you are dressed, it does open doors. I'll give you an example. I think you guys know I speak a little Italian. I'm almost conversational. I was in the Basilica San Marco in Venice, and there was a guard there. And I kind of saw him, and we kind of waved, like, when you just sort of catch somebody's attention, kind of said hello to each other, and then looked around a little bit and circled back. And I asked him, I said, would it be possible to see the crypt? Because the Basilica di San Marco has a crypt, which you wouldn't think in Venice there's a basement. You wouldn't think that. But there is. There's a basement. And he says, as near as I could tell, he said, oh no one can see the crypt. You need advanced permission from the bishop and the commune and everything else. It's not possible, this, that, and the other. And I was like, okay, I just thought I'd ask because, hey, why not, And he looked at me and he goes, come on. And he pulled up the stanchion. We went down into the crypt together, and he gave me like a 20-minute tour of the crypt. And it's so interesting. It's so clean because they basically restore it and clean it every time it gets flooded, which I think is often. And there's an interesting like crystal cross down there. I'm guessing it's Murano glass, but it's really quite beautiful. And I guess that's where St. Mark is supposed to be. If he's actually there, one believes these kind of things. I guess it would be there. But such a generous thing for this guy to do, to take me down, give me this incredible tour. He wouldn't let me take pictures though, but that's okay. I had this fantastic experience with this amazing guard in San Marco. And you know, he gave me his email address. We ended up kind of chatting a little bit after. Really nice fellow. I never forgot it. And it was all because I feel like I was presentable, I was polite, and I asked. So that can always happen. Simply Oz. Whoa, a personal tour, rad. It really was. It was an amazing thing. It's happened to me a couple times in my life. It's got to be nice. Kurt says, I hope his boss isn't watching this. I hope his boss is watching this. You know, I hope a lot of people are. But yeah, I just feel really kind of rejuvenated. The holidays are here. I was starting to slip into that kind of short day, cold, kind of depression rut, health issues, just not feeling that great. And I just feel like the good news on the health side, the fact that Christmas is squared away, it's cozy season. Maybe I'm deluding myself, but I just feel like I'm on track for brighter days. So I'm pretty happy about that. Another tip I use my American Express card for everything. So I used to be able to put like literally everything on there, but nowadays you can't pay loans with it, which is a shame. But you can pay a lot of bills. I put my daughter's daycare on there when she had daycare. But pretty every trip, every, grocery store, restaurant, gas, and I end up with a lot of points. We had so many points this year that we bought all our Christmas presents and still had points left over. So, I mean, the bad side is it was all those bills that gave us the points. But it's nice that if you're going to spend money, you should get something for it. And I just love that our spending throughout the year pays for all our Christmas presents, which is very, very nice. And a lot of stuff that Imogen, my daughter, gets is art supplies. That's her big love. Richard says, if you smile and try to communicate in the native language, good things often happen. Very good. Very true. Thank you. Very, very true. So yeah, I am really excited for some of the videos that are coming up. I am starting to think about the channel more in seasons, and I might eventually go to this kind of a format, guys, because I find that engagement really drops off in December and then doesn't pick up again till mid-January. So maybe at some point I might not post much then. Now, when I say that, I might have like live shows instead, and I might do more of the handsy stuff, the stuff that I think is kind of boring. but I'll make it interesting. I'll find good topics and good things to talk about. And maybe the high concept stuff, the stuff on journaling, the stuff on, the dark academic stuff, the travel meets journaling meets fountain pen stuff. I'll keep that during the seasons. And I keep them away from the holidays. But basically January, usually mid-January through to July is brilliant. And then it gets kind of quiet in the summer, and then early autumn is brilliant. And then it starts to fall off now. So I might kind of program for that at some point. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But whether or not it's in my best interest or not, the videos I have coming out this month are, and I mean December and late November, are some of the best I've ever done. And I'm super excited for them. The one this week is on Thanksgiving. So it's kind of a gift. I didn't think too many people would watch. I just wanted to share something personal. So I hope you guys enjoy that. There is a review of a Jinhao. Is it 9109? I always get it confused with 9019, but I think it's 9109. That Wolf Kate Witch gave me. Thank you. It's a lovely pen. My wife loved it in Cool or Not Cool Part 2, if you recall. And that review's coming out. And then the top 5 inks for Dark Academia is coming out. I am so proud of that video. I think you guys are really going to enjoy that one. And then at the end of the year are my my year-end summary. It was like the year in fountain pens 2023, or how these pens changed my life. So I think you're going to enjoy that at the end of the year. So a lot of really fun stuff coming up. Oh, David Wiseman, I don't know if I can share your comment here. I know you put it in the chat, but David Wiseman's going through some tough times, and he says, I'm enjoying your YouTube channel. I started using fountain pens again, got a Preppy and some Pilot Varsities. Good for you. Great choices. It's all you need. I love my Preppy. And I started with Varsities back in the day, one of the earlier pens that I bought too. Pilot Kakuno's a lot of fun too. It's a cute little smiley face. Might be a little twee for you. I don't know, but I quite like it. So Laddie Gardner says, HJ, catch us up on your health status. Laddie, you got to watch the playback. I did. I told the entire story from beginning to end. So it has a happy ending. So catch that, won't you? I just don't want to repeat it for the other folks that are here because we did it at the beginning of the show. So please do. But long story short, I have degenerative discs, and it's that. It's not all the scary stuff. So that's good. It's still surgery. It's the only thing that really fixes it. But, there you have it. Hey, we talked about that a little bit. But so good stuff. Wolf Kate Witch says, you're so welcome. So I think now the other thing we do at the end of the year is we start to look ahead, right? At what's up for next year. And I'll say a couple of things. There's trends. Maybe I should make a video about this. I might. There's trends in your fountain pen journey. Mine right now is away from thicker pens toward more elegant pens. That's a big part of my writing journey right now. I'm just liking more streamlined, elegant pens. The other thing, this is weird. I'm starting to like fountain pens that are a little complicated. And I saw one today, and I believe it was a Stipula. And it looks like a beautiful little baton. And you turn it. And as you turn it, this little door opens. It just opens up, and then a nib rotates out of it. It reminds me of a watchwork, a clockwork. And there's something I really like about that. It's sort of like taking a vanishing point to the next step. The Bohème, Mont Blanc, there's a Bohème, whatever. That pen from the old days did the same. You would twist it. I might look for one of those. I think I want more complicated fountain pens. However, it's a big caveat. I don't want to spend too much anymore on fountain pens. I've always set my ceiling at $1,000. Mont Blanc's pushing me to like $1,100 just with inflation, I guess, on some models. But I really don't like these $4,000, $3,000 fountain pens. I think it's too much for me. If you want to do it, I will applaud you. I'll cheer you on. I'll be really, really happy for you. But my choices, I don't want to spend more than that on a pen. So I want a complex pen, but I don't want it to be too expensive. So I'm not sure if I'm asking for too much. But I feel like this is my my journey for next year. I think those are the kind of pens that I'm looking for. As for production models, the kind of stuff that are Grail pens and people are looking at, I really filled in a lot of the boxes this year. I was always curious about an Aurora. I have one. I still need to review it. The Omas Ogiva, I have that. Quite like it. I think I'd really like to try a Scribo. I don't have one. And I'd like to see what they're like. I like that flex nib. I really want a Pelican M1000. I do want that. I think one of those is probably in my future. That's something you'll see on this channel someday. I am trying to space these things out though. I think if you get too many Grail pens and you get them all at once, or too many pens in general, forget Grail pens. If you buy 3 TWSBIs, it's hard to digest it. It's hard to have the bandwidth and the time to really sit down, get to know it, and to work with it. Because I like to work with a pen. I've been writing with this Mag 600. How long have I had this? Like 3 weeks now? 2 weeks? I don't even remember. I'm really bad with time. Actually, it must be 3 weeks because 2 weeks ago I was in Quebec. So I've been writing with this almost every day since. You need that time. And there's other pens to get to too. So I don't want to buy them. I don't want them all at once, but I do want to experience it. I don't want it to be about, oh, I have this pen, it's expensive and it's cool. That makes me cool. I mean, that's not my view of the world. My view is like, I'm so curious about that. I'm curious about that writing experience. Yeah, I don't know. But I definitely want to spread it out. I want to enjoy what I have now for now. Penexer, Scribos are substantially distinct, amazing. Not going to lie. I appreciate that. One day, it will happen. Oh, Benjo Marklin. Just got the Pilot Custom 823. I am done. Well, you can be done. It's the Pilot Custom 823. You can buy another pen, but you don't have to. They should pay me for saying that, Pilot. But yeah, I think there's a lot of pens. Lad says, can you write with the Mag 600 again? I can. I don't have the second camera set up though, unfortunately. Yeah. Trying to think if I could work something out. If I could prop it up on something. Let me see. Let me see what this looks like, Laddie. For Laddie, I take requests. Okay. Okay. I might be able to do something. All right. Let me get some nice paper. I find if you don't use nice paper, it spoils everything. Clairefontaine. I love these notebooks that have the reporter style where you flip them up on top. I really love that. All right, so this is the best I can do, Ladster. Because essentially it is propped up on a bottle of ink. All right, here we go. So fun. Can you see that? Well, that's super fun. I hope you can make that out. Oops. Oh, there you have it. Super, super fun. So, yeah, it's flexy. Imagine it in someone's hands. Someone like Miss Marilyn Darling, who actually has amazing handwriting. Great calligraphy skills. I do my best. It's got my raven doodle. Isn't he cute? Little raven buddy. It is very, very flexy. It's, I wouldn't say, no, I think I would say that it's very similar to an ideal nib, an ideal red, an ideal number 2. And I don't even think it's broken in yet. So I think it's just going to get better. Oh, John Manuel says, I like this angle better than the overhead because you can see the nib flex. That's great because this is what I did. So here's my phone and it's really cool. On this streaming, you hit second camera and your phone just acts as a separate camera. It just automatically picks it up. But I just took this bottle of Jaerbon ink and I just propped it up against it. So that's how high tech we were this evening. But yeah, it is kind of, I use those shots sometimes in B-roll where you can see flex. Because from the side, you get a really nice view of the flex. And I'm keeping my angle a bit more shallow so that I can flex it more without putting strain on the nib. So, ooh, Siva Gouda. I have a Bohème. Love it. It was a gift from my lovely wife on our first wedding anniversary. Good on you, my friend. That is a pen that I admire. So good on you. Very pleased. Oh, look at this. SM Lewis, my man. Super sticker, $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is huge. Thank you so much. It goes so far in supporting the channel, you guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your generosity, all of you. It really, really helps the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Marilyn Darling says, that's the way you do it. I certainly hope so. I mean, I think at some point I will figure it out, my friend. Yes, I should mention that Miss Marilyn Darling teaches calligraphy, so check out their channel. Take one of her classes, whatever is available. I repost them on my story. I don't know if you see that, but I always repost it when you put up one of your classes so that people can see it. Laddie says, good work to SM Lewis. Thanks, SM Lewis. Thank you, Laddie. Thank you, everyone who is so generous in donating to the channel. The lights will stay on. We will live to fight another day. I got a diffuser. Can you tell the quality of the light is softer? I got a diffuser. Also, I broke my ring light. Did I tell you guys that? It's very strange. I'm not even sure it was me. It was poorly designed. So you plug it into the light. The light's quite tall. It's up above me, so it doesn't go into my glasses as much. So the heavy transformer, if you will, on the line was bearing a lot of weight on the cord, and the cord just ripped out of it. So I plugged it in the wall and it was cross. It just went. But fortunately, it didn't mess up my light. So I got a new plug, but I had already bought another light. So I have a backup now. I have two. It's probably good. Because I did have to shoot. I think I shot last week's live without a ring light. Yeah. But it worked out. Dave Terry says, the Flex is awesome. The price not too bad, but not a piston fill? Rats. Yeah, you know, Dave, you do make a good point there. And there's something else I'd like to mention while we're on the Mag 600. It eats ink. I've never gone through so much ink as this pen. Okay, there's ink in it. It only lasts a couple of days. If you're flexing this thing and you're like writing a lot of letters and whatnot, this puts down, it's got an ebonite feed. It puts down so much ink. It's astounding how quickly it runs out. It's ebonite. Could you eyedrop it? I don't know. I'm not an eyedrop guy. I've only tried it the first time with the pen that Terry gave me. Thank you. But could you eyedrop this? I don't know. I'm asking that question. So let me know in the comments if I could eyedrop it. I won't, but it'd be good to know, certainly for other people. So I'm glad you like it. I do. Laddie likes my soft lighting. Thank you. You know, we're trying to improve all the time, you know. Trying to make the show better. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe this, but we are at an hour already. And this was one quick show. Maybe I should do it without notes more often. It flew by. It was such a nice chat with you all. I'd like to say, have an absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving. Give everyone a big hug and share your love with your family and your friends. It's a good time of year. You know, it's really a good time to just really enjoy the moments and be very present. And find a good book. Good books are just make your life so much better. And books seem to slow down time. You can kind of live in the book. It's like living two different lives. Find a good book. I'm reading Emperor of Rome by Mary Beard right now. It's brilliant. She's like another character. It's about the emperors of Rome, but you almost feel like you're talking to Mary. And she's very interesting, and I really like her. So I am digressing once again, but I want to thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for all the super chats, you guys. I appreciate it. And thank you all for just being here. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Much love. And I'll see you all further up the road. So take care. Things are getting better all the time. Take care.